The tens, they can be a bit heavy. In the Naples arrangement, Aleister Crowley says the tens are the points idea of itself fulfilled in its complement as determined by 7, 8 and 9. Well, we've just been doing the 7, 8s and 9s and they haven't been too happy, have they? It's just this really kind of degradation between the 7 and 8s and it goes to the 9. See what the 9 does, he talks about change and stability, and where does that change and stability come from? The 7s and the 8s, which are pretty, they're just going between each other. It's just this energy is just swirling around and it's your own crap basically. So it's a really hard kind of thing that's going on. And the 9s in the decanates are the center card of the mutables. So the mutable energy of Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius and Gemini. All mutable signs with the 7 and 8s going along with the 9s. It's just... Hopefully you're not feeling too suicidal at this point when the next clients turn up with these cards. So let's see what he says about the 10s. Okay, so the 10s, so now with the Yesod we were in the central pillar, so we went from Keter to Tiphareth to Yesod. Now we're going down to Malkuth. Okay, this is at the bottom, the point at the bottom, but we're still in the center. It's good, got to be good, hasn't it? So here is the end of all energy. It is away from the formative world of Yetzirah, which is where we had been going through the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9s. That's been Yetzirah. There's no planetary attribution to consider. As far as the sephiroth is concerned, it's right down to the world of Asaya. So this is the world we kind of exist in Asaya. Okay. By the mere fact of having devised 4 elements, the current has derogated from the original perfection. It's been down all the way, hasn't it, pretty much, as far as this kind of thing is concerned. The 10s are a warning. See whether it leads to take the first wrong step. Not so good. I didn't show you the 10s, did I? So let's do the 10s while you contemplate the misery that's potentially going to come along. So, 10 of Wands, oppression. Great. It's a card of Saturn and Sagittarius, so the big bouncy Sagittarius, the 8s are going all everywhere, and then the 9s are Sagittarius, which is healthy, but it needs all that change going on. Then you hit the anchors with a Saturn. Just pulls it all down. Oppression. Allowing other people to dominate you. Unless you're a sub, you're not going to like this card so much. 10 of Cups, satiety, and that's, what is that one? Mars. It's Mars in Scorpio, and Mars in Pisces. 10 of Swords, ruin. Along with the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords is not such a good card either, and this is the Sun in the last decanates of Gemini. It's the Sun, you can see the heat of the energy there and stuff, but things are falling apart. But then the 10 of Coins is wealth, and that is Mercury in Virgo. Still not a bad card. Get some money. Money doesn't solve all your problems. Be nice if you could try those sometimes, wouldn't it? So let's see what Aleister Crowley gives. It's kind of brilliant analysis of how the tree of life is working from the point of view of the decanate system, astrology, and of the tree of life. So we've gone from the 7 of 8s going nowhere down to the 9, which kind of creates a vicious circle of energy of light that's going nowhere, and it's concentrated down, and now it's dropping down into Malkuth, and also from Netzach and Hod we have another lines coming down into this kind of thing. This is if you're going up from Malkuth, this is the dark night of the soul stuff that you have to go through. It gets worse before it gets better kind of mentality, and believe me, that's how it feels. So the 10 of Wands, oppression. This is what happens when one uses force, and nothing else but force all the time. It's just, you know, the beatings will continue until morale improves. Mentality that's going on here. Here looms the dull and heavy planet Saturn, weighing down the fiery, ethereal nature of Sagittarius. It brings out all the worst in Sagittarius. The bombastic kind of thing is kind of like, we're going to really enjoy yourself, and you're going to enjoy yourself whether you like it or not. That you get from your parents when they take on holiday to places you don't want to go to. The archer is not shooting forth benign rays. Sagittarius is the archer. But the sharp rain of death. The wand has conquered, it's done its work, and it's done its work too well. It did not know when to stop. Government has become tyranny. We see a lot of that these days, don't we? One thinks of the Hydra when one reflects that King Charles was beheaded in Whitehall. King Charles I, this is English history. If you're not from here, you're probably not going to guess it. But he was a kind of Bonnie Prince Charlie sort of, not Bonnie Prince Charlie. It was King Charles I. He's one of the few kings that executed in recent times. Still, Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, that's not it. Ten of Cups, satiety. Satiety is a kind of fullness. Its attribution is Mars in the last decanus of Pisces. The water sign has sunk into a stagnant dream. But in it brews and breathes the violent quality of Mars to putrefy it. It's rotting. It's the sweet smell of death. As it is written, until a dark strike through his liver. I have to look up that one. I don't know where that comes from. The pursuit of pleasure has been crowned with perfect success, and constantly it is discovered that, having got everything that one wanted, one did not want it after all. Now one must pay. You've run up the credit card bills on all those fripperies. Now the bills come in. Where's the money to pay for it? Not good. Still, we've got the Ten of Swords. That's ruin. Gets worse. Ruin. So this card teaches the lesson which statements should have learned and have not. See, remember, Malkuth is to do with the kingdom. We're here dealing with the land, the countries, the realms, the domains. America, the United States, Russia, Fiji, France, anywhere you like. So the Ten of Wands, so this is kind of the energy of, so the Ten of Wands is oppression, oppressive regimes, which can work in Western countries too, not just in where we think. This satiety, we've, you know, this is the credit crunch. We've been running up the bills, and we keep on going, saying, yeah, we can keep on paying, yeah, we can keep on going, but actually one day it's not there. So then we have the Ten of Swords, ruin. If you keep on going long enough, that if one goes on fighting long enough, it all ends in destruction. You know, we've been fighting, the West has been fighting continual proxy wars and things like that for ever since the Second World War. You know, in some senses, some people think the Second War hasn't ended. And the Pope said this week, we have World War III going on through various little wars. But surprisingly, and you might be surprised to hear this, Crowley says, yet this card is not entirely without hope. The solar influence rules. Ruin can never be complete because disaster is a sthenic disease. I'll have to look up sthenic. S-T-H-E-N-I-C. As soon as things are bad enough, one begins to build up again. You know, it's the worst of the credit crunch of this recession, and within that the green shoots of recovery are showing. And they kind of go and then they come back again. When all governments have smashed each other, have you noticed with the tens, he's talking about governments and rulership. Okay. There still remains the peasant. Yeah, you know, who cares about the peasants? They're either can afford them or they just don't bother with them anyway. They just leave them stuck on the land, starving, or just trying to get some kind of living from the land. At the end of Candide's misadventures, he could still cultivate his garden. That's a kind of interesting idea, isn't it? You know, it's almost with the with retirement. You know, that idea. You got that cottage in the garden. You can spend potting around until you die, basically, with the gladioli and the dahlias and mowing the lawn and all that kind of stuff. So we come to the last card. It's been quite a journey, this. The Ten of Coins, Wealth. It's another idea that Crowley brings out here, is that as soon as one gets to the bottom, one finds oneself at the top. And the wealth is given to Mercury in Virgo. Mercury rules the last decade of Virgo, and of course Mercury also rules Virgo. When wealth accumulates beyond a certain point, it must either become completely inert and cease to be wealth, or call in the aid of intelligence to use it rightly. This must necessarily happen in spheres which have nothing whatever to do with material possessions. In here, Crowley talks about Carnegie Library and Rockefeller Institute, because that's his generation. In these days we have Bill Gates giving away a lot of his money into charities in Africa, and Hollywood celebrities buying orphans in Africa. You know, it's a kind of giving back sort of thing that's going on here. Now, the interesting thing is that, you know, as this card is the 10th one, it's the end of the system of the tarot. And Crowley equates this card to the universe as the last of the trump cards. And the universe is very much this idea of a ending of a phase and the beginning of another. And in the same way that we had the aces, when I first talked about them, they're not in the realm of the 2s to the 10s. They're not the decanates. They're not the elements. They're spirit. And this is going from the universe into something else, because the 10s are kind of this world, this earth. And now we're going to actually go beyond the earth into something different. So you've gone from one tree of life to another tree of life. You can go that way or you can go that way. It's the other way around. It's a bit of a circle going on. So I hope you've enjoyed going round looking at these tarot cards in a slightly different way, because a lot of people haven't read the Book of Thoth because it's scary. It's actually quite fun, isn't it? I hope I've tried to entertain you a little bit as we go along on these things. And I hope you've learned, and I've learned too. It's an interesting thing that I've never kind of realised, the deep insights that Crowley really had with these cards. It's a fascinating thing that he's trying to portray. So hopefully I'll go on and look at the other cards. I haven't done the major cards yet, have I? There's a project for me. Speak soon.